Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I'm Gabe, the bad guy, still working on that name. I'm very excited today, and you may ask why, or you may already see it. I'm so excited that literally this is the third or fourth video for my new YouTube channel, The Bag Guy, where I review bags and tech accessories. That I'm still actually editing those 3 videos to put up, and I'm so excited that I'm going to go ahead and put this up, so hopefully it won't confuse you guys too much. I went out and I decided to get the iPad Pro, and I know we've seen several unboxings, and the goal of my channel is not to just talk about the product or gush about the product, but it is to give a real world expectation. A lot of YouTube videos, they kind of gloss over stuff, and a lot of us just real people, we still have those questions like, why do I really need this, or why would I want this? So without further ado, I'm going to get into this, but one quick second. I know a lot of people saying, hey, you know what, why did you get an iPad Pro? So I'll be honest with you, I am you could say a Mac fanboy, but I love Windows too. I'm in cybersecurity, so I interact with both ecosystems on a daily basis. Recently, over the last few weeks, I went through a transition phase where I have the latest MacBook Pro, 13 inch, 512 hard drive, 8 gigs of memory, the i5. So I used it, I love it, and still have it here. And recently I started going out because I was very intrigued about the Microsoft Surface Pro and then the Surface Book. And ultimately, my reason for getting the iPad Pro is I want to be productive. And a lot of people are going to say, hey, well, Gabe, you just said you had a laptop. You can't be productive with that. But I also love gadgets. So during the last 3 weeks, I'll be honest, I have tested the Surface Book. I have tested the Surface Pro, and I've also tested the Vaio, no longer Sony, Vaio Canvas Z. This is a great tablet / laptop, and I'll tell you right now, there's nothing that's ever going to replace your laptop. I know right off the bat. So if that's what you're, hey, tune in and say, hey, can it really replace your laptop? I'll be honest with you, no. It depends on what you are doing, because there's still going to be things that you're going to want to do that you can only use your laptop for. We're talking about from the smallest things, installing games like, say, hey, Civilization 5, to really wanting to use Photoshop, Adobe Premiere, Final Cut, anything. So I really went through a process of trying to figure out, hey, I got the Surface Pro 4, loved it. At that time, I was only able to get an i5, and I was really big into recording to editing 4K video. Even though you're gonna have to probably compress it down back to 1080 to upload to YouTube. So I noticed that the i5s couldn't handle it there. I had to turn around and I had to go back, and I picked up the Surface Book. Love the Surface Book. Picked up the i7 with the 256 and 8 gigs of memory. What I learned is that it was okay. I needed it to do two things. And you'll see from my other videos, I'm kind of normally dressed business casual. Like I said, I literally just got in from Delaware, 3 hours from my house, because I had to go pick it up. This was the only store that had it, and I didn't mind driving. It was something I needed to get out to do today. So I put on a good Audible book, and I'm in my studio every Thursday night. Me and my co-host, we host a live radio show about sex and relationships and everything in between, and that's Straight Talk. And the address is, I'm going to put it someplace here, I think here, www.straighttalkrs.com. You guys are definitely always welcome to listen, and definitely call in to give your opinions on some things. But back to what I was saying, love the Surface Book. It was refreshing to get back into Windows 10. And actually be able to have something portable to take around with me. In my mindset, I was still trying to figure out and say, hey, I need this, because every week, my radio show, we replace our banner with hey, what are we talking about this week? You know, or we put out information. So I'm always using the PSD to change the titles, change the fonts, and editing videos, and also flying drones. I always come in and I use their applications that I wanted to kind of say, hey, you know, calibrate some stuff. So I wanted something that I was going to be able to take around with me. Love the Surface Book, but I can tell you it got extremely hot. And editing 4K, because this only has 256, I literally have to have a fast SSD to read from to edit 4K video. I learned about that from, I think his name is 2D, so that's 2 Dave. He's on YouTube, and he talked about the same thing. It also gets extremely hot. So that was a kind of a deal breaker for me. And I still wanted that tablet feel, So I turned around and I said, hey, you know, want to get that tablet feel, and me being in cybersecurity, anytime I see a gig port or Ethernet port on something, I go crazy, because I'm like, hey, I no longer have to just rely on Wi-Fi, especially if it's a big download, especially if I'm transferring files on my network NAS, and you know that file is maybe 50 gigs. Here we go, baby. So went out and I got this, and I love this. This is the Vaio Canvas Z. If you have not seen it yet, you definitely should try it out. There's a lot of reviews out there on it, but this is going to cost you $2,500. It comes in 3 models. The model I got has 16 gigs of RAM. It has a 512 SSD, and it has a i7 processor, but it is the Haswell quad core. So, and battery life is around 7 hours. And a lot of people say, hey, it may not be a good, battery life, but it works because for me, you're not always on here. But this is literally my desktop upstairs that I'm taking all around with me. The only reason I don't really like about it, like this, is it's great because it separates. It's a tablet. Oh, now it's a laptop. It's a hybrid, and it has this neat little, stand that you can kind of sit here and work on it. And it comes with a stylus, but it's like if I'm in the airport and I travel a lot, I have to kind of be like this with it, which is, with regular laptop, you have your knees kind of, set apart. So I definitely love this. So what I ended up going back to, and I'm going to get into the unboxing in a second, and you guys are saying, Gabe, shut up, open it up. Still noticed it today that I have a Samsung T1, the portable hard drives. They come in a 128, a 256, 512, and a terabyte. And if you haven't saw it, you may want to check it out. I'll post the link here. I think the write speeds are 400 read and write, super fast. So I'm able to edit 4K video on the fly. Now notice one thing I said is all of those are i7s. Said a few minutes ago, have the MacBook Pro that I purchased 6 months ago. Nice little skin on it. This has a i5. Sorry, those have i7s. This has a i5 512 hard drive and 8 gigs of memory. I can edit 4K video like nothing on here. Final Cut, Adobe Premiere, no skipping, no buffering. I'm actually putting transitions and putting titles and stuff in while the video is actually playing. And that made me really wonder and say, you know what? You're out here trying to recreate the wheel. So, with that being said, I thought about it and said, you know what? The iPad is not going to replace what this can do. The iPad now, I've heard it can come quite dangerously close, because now you can use certain Photoshop programs. You can edit 4K. Of course, you're going to have a flash drive. You're going to have to be able to get the 4K on there. And there's their ScanDisk, flash drives. And you can plug it in and you can import the 4K. And you can connect and upload documents and everything from your Dropbox, from your OneDrive, from your Google Drive. But you're not going to be able to if I need to edit that PSD. Now, I've heard there are programs there, and don't shoot the messenger. I have not found any yet. And I realized and said, you know what, but I can put maybe a blank template of what I'm using, and now apply the fonts to that instead of going in Photoshop and always editing that layer. So the reason I went and I decided to go ahead and get this was simply because I have an iPad Air. I love the iPad Air. I bought a keyboard for it, and I had been using it for a lot more than just surfing the web and watching TV. So when I realized and said, you know what, this is still home for me because it's lightning fast, it's quick, it's very responsive. It's not as buggy as Windows 10. And I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to pretty much take this around with me on a day-to-day basis. I wanted something else that, if I needed to, I did not have to bring my laptop, but with a big enough screen. And so also with decent battery life. So that was the reason why I decided to go with the iPad Pro. Now, will it hold up? I definitely don't know, but I can tell you the experience that I've had with this guy, the iPad Air 2, which has been amazing, and the quality of the products that Mac puts out, that I'm pretty much sure that this may live up to my expectations. So now on to the unboxing. So like I said, I was actually out and went out to Delaware. They had it there. I think it's the I forgot the name of the mall, but picked it up. I was actually able to get the iPad Pro. I got the space gray 128 gig with LTE, and I was actually able to. Was not a fan of the Apple keyboard, so I wanted to pick up the Logitech. And this is going to go through this real quick here. The Apple pencils were not in stock. I mean, those things, if you find one of those, it's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack. So you're going to have to definitely order one and have it sent, have it shipped to the store or shipped to your house. So, oh, okay, that's nice. Okay, so on to the unboxing. I'll let you guys know this is the second time that I had to record this portion of the video, simply for the fact that the first time I recorded the video, it kind of cut out a little bit, so I had already removed the plastic and everything from it. So on to the unboxing. Again, this is the iPad Pro, 128 gig, space gray black with LTE. So, of course, the traditional Apple boxing. The labeling tells you everything. Serial number, model, everything. Plastic had already been removed. Inside is the iPad Pro. We'll get to this in a second. What comes in here, of course, the lightning cable. The actual charging brick. The instructions. And that's about it. I tell you, one thing I do miss what Apple used to give us is the white stickers, because I actually used to like sticking them on stuff. So, put these to the side here. Close this up. And here she is. The iPad Pro. There is no mistake that this thing is huge. If you don't like watching movies, you will after looking at this thing here. It's big, but it's not too big. This is still something I think I can put a smart cover on and still carry it. It's very light, to say it's 1.5 pounds, so it's very light. And if you have mastered typing on the screen, I think this is definitely portable. I'm gonna compare it with the actual 13-inch MacBook. So you can kind of get a good size comparison here. As you can see, both of them are here, and width is the same. The MacBook is probably about almost 1/2 inch bigger. Compare it to the iPad Air. You can kind of see, get it right there. Noticeably larger. So you're definitely going to get some more work real estate and screen real estate off this thing. I mean, being able to do a split screen with some things is going to be absolutely great. I mean, especially, let's say if you are stowed out there, if you blog about sports or whatever, you're able to catch sports stats and everything on one side of the screen, and you're using Outlook or whatever note-taking app you're using on the next end. I mean, you're getting live updates and you're being able to stay in action while taking notes. Or if you're taking, dictation and you're recording notes from a video. Going to set this to the side here. Now this is the Logitech Create. Was not a real big fan of the Apple keyboard. I wanted a little bit more protection, especially for the back. So I picked this bad boy up. It comes in 3 colors. I think red and gold. There's a blue with a black keyboard, and then there's black on black. The only 2 options they had in the store when I went there was black on black. I would have loved, I think, the blue. Sorry, I'm trying to fumble with this magnetic seal. So the only thing that comes in the box is definitely the keyboard itself. Empty box. Let's set this guy here. I'm gonna go ahead and set these to the side. Right off the bat, without the iPad Air, it makes me think kind of textbook. It's very square in the back and rounded corners. And there is almost a ballistic nylon feel, which is, I always like making this noise. I don't know, it's the kid in me. Opening it up, you have, I guess, the instructions. It says create more, make more possible. There is a rubber strip here that your iPad lays against. And it's pretty much it. This is, I guess, it's not a magnetic seal here. This is just a kind of indentation, I guess, that your iPad lays against also. So it kind of protects the iPad against from this little edge right here. The keys are definitely recessed. They're backlit. And like I said, I'm going to slide the iPad into here. Definitely going to be getting a screen protector for this guy. Okay, clips in. You can hear it click in. Okay. Now, what I said a few seconds ago about it kind of being too boxy, now that the iPad is in here, I actually like it. One thing I can tell you is this case gives girth to it, but it's not a cumbersome girth. The iPad itself is 1.5 pounds. I don't know how much this weighs, but I can tell you right now, you've added about 1 pound to this, which is, for something to say that can replace your laptop, then you're going to be looking at laptop size and weight. I'm going to bring back over the MacBook Pro here. We can kind of look at it and see, maybe I can get a comparison. This is actually going to be set up just a little bit more than my MacBook Pro. And literally the same size. So I mean, you're carrying another MacBook. I mean, they can just go ahead and put an Apple logo on here. And that's what it comes to. And I think maybe that's the look that Logitech was actually going for. So around the case, you can see there's a port for speaker 1. There's an opening for speaker 2, an opening for speaker 3, and there's another port here for speaker 4. There's a little indentation drop here for your charging port. I think they just mirrored it on the top. Uniformity. There is a hole for your microphone, and there's a rocker for volume up and volume down. Okay, so they seem very responsive. And then there's an indentation here for your power button. Okay, let's see how this thing looks. So you open it up there, and wow, it's there. Okay. I'm gonna try to pick it. If I shake this a little too hard, it's gonna come loose. So I can tell you, it's not gonna be one of those. See, there you go. It's not gonna be one of those. Oh, I mean, it has a great seal to it, so you don't have to worry about it actually, you know, coming apart. But you're not gonna really pick it up and just shake it like that. As far as screen rock, it's solid. I mean, it's moving because my hand is bringing it back and forth, but I'm actually, as I'm poking it, it's turning the actual laptop. That ballistic nylon gives it a little bit of grip here, and the keys are with those guys being recessed. I actually like this, that this actually kind of dips down, so it's something I can rest my hands on here. The keys are evenly spaced. There's 6 rows here. You have your function keys, you have your lock screen, you have your keyboard, bring up your keyboard. You have your media control buttons, your brightness, everything. This is a fully functional keyboard. One thing that I really, really would have loved, if you buy the iPad Pro, you're gonna do what? You're gonna buy the iPad Pencil because let's face it, you're curious about it. You want to try it. You want to play with it. And I definitely do. I can't draw to save my life, but I guess it's completing the set, and it's only 99 bucks. But I will try to draw with it. I will do some crossword puzzles and a lot of stuff that you normally couldn't do before. I've had third-party stylists, and they had the little clear tips on them, or the tips were too big, and it was just an unnatural feeling to me. I did play with the Apple Pencil in the store, and I liked it a lot. So getting back to this, I really wish this would have bring this up just a little bit more and give me a space where I could have put my pencil right here. And I guess that's because I'm a person that puts things down a lot, and sometimes you go back. I have to have that. I have to put it in this spot and leave it there, or I have to stay like always putting something in the same spot. That way I know I can go back to it, because if not, I'll spend 30 and 40 minutes looking for something. So I always try to put things right back where they're supposed to go. Former military, and so hey, blame that. But I really would have loved if there was a spot right here that I could have put my pencil, because I think and I don't know, maybe I'm not quoting this right. I think Logitech actually worked with Apple on developing that that smart connector system here. And so they are the first third-party keyboard that's out right now. Don't quote me, maybe somebody else, but I think they are the first ones. And if they were the first ones, I would have thought about that too and said, hey, people are going to have their pencils. People are going to want to take notes. I love Microsoft OneNote because you can take a screenshot of something, you can edit it, and I'm always passing stuff to my co-host and saying, hey, let's add this, let's take away this. Or doing a show, you know, when I had my Microsoft tablet, I'm writing stuff here and I'm spinning it around for them to see it and say, okay, boom, okay, that's what we're going to do. So I definitely would have loved to see if that's here, because there's really no other place I think that it can store, except now you just kind of keep it in your pocket. But it is definitely nice. Like I said, I did not like it without the keyboard in here. I'm definitely anxiously, I want to see what the blue looks like, but the black looks very nice too. And if you know anything about ballistic nylon and Tumi, or any of the high-end bags, that ballistic nylon is very easy to clean. You just take a hot towel and maybe just a little bit of their preferred cleaner, and it comes back out like new. And I can tell you, this is definitely something I think after a while, I may be actually comfortable with leaving my MacBook at the house. Not saying it's going to replace a laptop like I told you, but it almost reminds me of the laptop, and I think that's the look that Logitech was going for. So I'm going to definitely do a follow-up video that will, after playing with this thing for a couple of weeks, getting used to it, using it in a real-world environment, that will actually say, hey, is this something that I really need? Is it something that I really want? I mean, I love my iPad Air. I think when I first got it, it was just for videos. And then as I started getting more serious with work, I needed something to take with me around town. I was looking on Amazon. I was doing reviews. I was looking and watching videos. I was doing research on it until I actually even bought a Belkin keyboard. And that keyboard was nice, but it was still kind of small here. This is something I can put on my desk now, and I do have my apps. I can listen to Spotify as I'm working, and then I'm back on my computer over here. Boom, 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 boom. You know, and I think, like I said, just from the looks of it with the keyboard, this thing is pretty snazzy, and it's something I can see myself too. I travel a lot. I'm in the airport. I pull it out of my bag, take it, open it up, connect it here, and like I said, with that Canvas, Vaio Canvas Z, I'm here and I'm actually typing some notes while I'm in the airport. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Oh, boarding. Okay, take it, close it. Once I get on the plane, I still can open it up. And like I said, I've tried keyboards before. I've had keyboards before. Of course, everybody knows with the iPad Air, there are a million keyboards out. Target has one, Belkin has one, Insignia has one. Amazon has hundreds of third-party keyboards. I can tell you, even this is just a first prototype. This is a very nice keyboard to complement. It actually complements the iPad Pro. I will say one thing I'm definitely noticing here. Maybe I didn't close it in right. I think actually. Oh, sorry. That was the bottom of the keyboard. You can kind of see him with it a little close. There is a little opening with the edge here, And looking at it, I actually thought it was my iPad that was actually out, but it's not. It's the bottom of the keyboard here. So I'm okay with that. One thing I'm not so happy about is this open here. I think they should have went ahead here and maybe kind of put some rubber here to close this port in, but I understand why, because you need that flexibility of opening here. Other thing is here, you can take it now and watch videos. So this is also good too. Hey, I'm just watching videos here, or I've got my headphone jack with the headphone port is open, but I can sit here and still watch videos. Still feels good, still has a good weight in the hand. Still kind of protecting the iPad. I'm not so happy about the iPad actually rubbing against the keyboard here. Hear that noise? I'm not really thrilled about that. So I probably would maybe turn it, I don't know, like this way. And this is okay too. These are actually where I can kind of cup my hands and watch it. But like I said, at the end of the day, most people are going to use it for work. You'll definitely be using it for reading, but you got it here. It still feels good in the hand in any position. I mean, no product is going to be 100% perfect, but I definitely like it. So like I said, I'll be doing definitely a review in a couple of weeks about my likes, my dislikes about both. So that's all, guys. I will do a follow-up video that talks about my my impressions of it, give it a real first-person experience in the real world, especially with the keyboard. And I definitely want to try when I get the Apple Pencil. I have another third-party stylus, and I'll be also reviewing next week the Tumi Earl Compact Brief. I have this bag and I definitely love it. It fits my MacBook Pro and it fits my chargers. It even fits Beats headphones and it still keeps that slim, compact look. And it is a very good looking manly bag that you can take with you on a business trip. And I mean, definitely pack all your gear in here. So I'm Gabe, the bag guy. I'll see you soon.